So welcome to our second video on ratio and proportion. So in this lesson, we are going to solve three other word problems on ratio and proportion. The forms of which type we didn't treat in the first one. So the first question here has to do with a ratio word problem with a graph. The second one here has to do with ratios of variables in which one of the variables is squared in the relationship. And then the last one has to do with a word problem on proportion. So let's set the ball rolling by answering the first question here. So three gardens were each treated with different weed killers over an 8-week period to test the effectiveness of three weed killers. Okay. Gardens ABC were treated with weed killers ABC respectively. Each weed killer was applied every 2 weeks to one of the three gardens over the 8-week period. The bar graph above shows the weed counts for each of the gardens 0, 2, 4, 6, and 8 weeks after the initial treatment. Okay. Now, of the following, which is the closest ratio to the total number of weeds in all three gardens in week 8 to the total number of weeds in all three gardens at the time of initial treatment? Now, that's what you are finding. The closest ratio, keyword here, closest ratio. The next here is what? The ratio, that's the main thing, the ratio of the what total number of weeds in all three gardens in week 8. So week 8, okay? And then total number of weeds in all three gardens at the time of what? Initial treatment. So we have our key information already. So first of all, we look for the numerator, which is the total number of weeds in all three gardens in week 8. So we move to week 8 on the graph. We move to week 8 on the graph. And you start your work. So this first one, that's for garden A, is very close to 5, but not there. So from observation, we can say it's 4. Okay. Then the next one, that's for garden B. It's very close to what? Using observation, and that's how graphs relating to ratios, you approach them. You have to be very smart. Now, this one here, you have to know that if it is combined with the one here, it will be very close to the 5 here, right? So we can say it's 1. Okay, 1, then plus this one, which is what? 15. So you have 4 plus 1 plus 15, which is obviously 20. 20. 20. Okay, so 20. And then that's our numerator. Okay, now we then look for the denominator. That's what? The total number of weeds in all three gardens at the time of initial treatment. And so initial treatment is 0 here. So 25, okay? So 25 as the first one for garden A, 25. For garden B here is very close to 15. Very close to 15. So 14, 14. And the last one is garden C, which is a little bit above 20. So 21. Okay. 21. As it's here, a little bit above 20. So 21. You add everything, 25, 14, 21. That's 60 from right. There's 40, there's 25. Sorry, this 35, this 25. So 60. 60. Now what will be our ratio? 20 over 60. 20 into itself, 1. 20 into 60, 3. So the closest ratio here is 1 over 3. And let's say if our possible answer has 1 over 3. So 1 to 3 is here. So C now is our final answer. Very simple. Now let's solve the next one. K equals 1 over 2 mv squared. The kinetic energy K generated by an object moving with velocity v can be found using the formula above, where m is the mass of the object. A baseball coach uses the formula to find the kinetic energy of a ball moving with the velocity v and the same ball moving with velocity 2.5 v. What is the ratio of the kinetic energy of the faster ball, the kinetic energy of the slower ball? Now, there is a very easy way to go about this. Now, what you do is that immediately you know the other values are constant, okay? You know they will cancel out. So this is constant, will cancel out when you are finding ratio. But you know this will also cancel out. So you cancel out all the constant variables, the variables that aren't changing, you cancel them out. Then you are left with the changing variable, which is v squared here. Okay, the changing variable is v squared. Now, what's the ratio of the kinetic energy to faster ball? So the kinetic energy to the slower ball. So the faster ball has 2 point what? 5v. So the ratio will be what? The faster ball 2.5 to 2.5 v. And you know it is squared here. So you square it here like this. Okay. Over what? That of the initial ball, that was what? That should be v squared. Now you simplify this. So to be fast, you do this instead of writing all these again. Okay, you just write the ones that were changing and variable that changed, and then you just solve for it. To make this easier, we convert this to a fraction. Now that's one thing you have to bear in mind when you are working with ratio, proportions, and stuff. You usually convert any decimal given to you to a fraction to make everything easier for you. So here, 2.5 is the same as 5 over 2. 5 over 2 v squared. So 5 over 2 squared. So this would be equal to 5 over 2 squared, then v squared over v squared. Okay? Over v squared. Now v squared cancels out v squared. Now I left with this. And this is given as what? 25 over 4. And this is your final answer. 25 over 4. Now it means the ratio of the kinetic energy of the faster ball, that's with 2.5 v velocity, to the initial ball or the slower ball would be 25 over 4. And you are done. Now we are on our last question, which is a word problem from proportion. Um, Polk Polk High School randomly selected freshmen, sophomore, junior, and senior students for a survey about potential changes to the vaping policy. Of students selected for the survey, 1/6 were freshmen and 1/4 were sophomores. Now, half of the remaining selected students were juniors. If 288 students were selected for the survey, how many were seniors? Now we start the question again and then take our key information from it. So you have freshmen, sophomore, junior, senior students. That's they make up the total. Now, of students selected, 1/6 were freshmen. So of the total, 1/6 were freshmen and 1/4 were sophomore. Okay. So when you take total, so the total is made up of, okay, so you write your total is made up of 1/6, okay, of the freshmen, okay, 1/6 of freshmen plus 1/4 of sophomores, so 1/4 of sophomores is here. And then this is where it becomes very critical. Now, at this point, if you fail to decode the information here, then you are getting the question wrong. It said half of the remaining selected students were juniors. Half of the remaining. Now, if you have total to be one, okay, so your total is one, okay, the total is one, okay, one. And you've been told that 1/6 freshmen, 1/4 sophomores. And the rest, when you take the rest, half of the rest are juniors. Now you just add this, subtract from one to get the rest, then you take half of that. I hope that is clear. So you just find, you add this, adding fractions. So 4 plus 6 over 24. So you have 10 over 24. 10 over 24. Now to make this very easy, you have 10 over 24. So this means that the rest, when you subtract this from 1, you're going to get 14 over 24. 14 over 24. That's 24 over 24 minus 10 over 24. 24 minus 10, you have 14. Okay. 14 over 24. Then half of them are juniors. So you take half of this, you divide by 2, you have 7 over 24. So 7 over 24 were juniors. So 7 over 24. So you have 7 over 24 for juniors. Now, at this point, you should know how to get that for the seniors. So if the remaining, you have 14 over and half were juniors, then it means half were seniors. Okay? But it wasn't said directly in the question. And you have to, no, sorry. It wasn't said directly in the question. So you know 7 over 24 would also be for what's your seniors. 7 over 24 would also be for your seniors. Now let's continue with our question. If 288 students were selected for the survey, so that's for the total. So they've given us the total number of students. 288 for the survey. How many were seniors? Now this is where it becomes very interesting. Now you've been given total. Total, you know, is what? 1. So 1 is to what? 288. Okay, 1 is to 288. And we are being asked to look for what corresponds to seniors. And we know seniors, the fraction for seniors here is what? 7 over 24. So you are looking for 7 over 24. 24. So there are various ways you can approach this ratio. So if 1 is 288, then what would 7 over 24 be? So you can do it this way, 7 over 24 all over 1. Then you multiply it by 288. Okay. multiply it by 288. So 24 here, 24 into itself, 1. 24 goes into 28 once, remainder 4. 24 goes into 48 two times. So you have 12 here. Now, 7 times 12 gives us 84, right? 84. So 84 is our final answer, and that's it here. B. Thank you. See you in our next video.